I have lost $18,000 in a single week from the drop of Pinterest stock. So is it an opportunity to buy or to sell? But before I get into the details, there's a bigger problem that I want to share with you today.
We are the Family Investments channel. We focus on saving, investing, and growing your wealth so you can spend more time with your kids. My daddy works very hard for this video, so please like and subscribe and ding dong. Enjoy the video.
Before I begin, I want to show you this video of my YouTube live session on Thursday. And even before it started, this is what I said. And half an hour later, this happened. So check it out. This book came in slowing down, and Pinterest is right in between, because if Pinterest does well, it goes 90. If it doesn't do well, it goes 60. And I've got a lot at stake. Okay, Adrian, Victor, how are you doing, Adrian? I've not seen you in a long time. How are you doing? What's happening to pins? I'm not sure. I've not looked at pins, but let's look at pins. Let's look at that. Let me just quickly look at the stock. Is it dropping? Boom, 16%. Oh my God, did they miss the earnings? Son of a gun. I just said it just now that if they don't do well, they're gonna hit 16. Son of a gun, they hit 60. I should have sold. Oh gosh, it's one of those feelings. That was one dramatic live YouTube session for me. So I personally hold 1,000 Pinterest shares, and for every 1 point on pins that is dropped, it's $1,000. So overall for the week, 18 points drop equals $18,000. And that is before even adding my family's portfolio holdings of Pinterest. So I own more than 1,000 Pinterest shares. In this analysis, I waited 2 days before I could share this because I needed to think. And in this, I promise you that the content below will give you not just an analysis of this stock, but to understand the business, and the way forward. So you learn something out of this video. So in this video, there'll be a timeline of 3 key sections: the key analysis, the ecosystem, the problem, and the business view that I see. And finally, is this an opportunity to buy, or is this a burning ship that you shouldn't be jumping on? So if you want to skip the section, go below, but I encourage you to watch the entire video, which will help you very, very much. Well, first start with the analysis. Before I start with the analysis, I want to give a shout out. It's hypercharts.co. Hypercharts helped me with the visual. It saved me hours on charting. I'll be showing you plenty of hypercharts charts on Pinterest. And also, if you want to support hypercharts, click below. In fact, the $99 I spent a year on the premium has made me more returns at night. So hopefully we can support hypercharts, keep them going, because it saves us tons and tons of hours of work visualizing this just to help us on our investing journey. Okay, let's start with the very first chart of Pinterest monthly active user. So it's a nice step ladder. That's what we saw before the earnings, and we're hoping that it will beat Q2 2021. It dropped, decline in the US user base, and also increasing international. It doesn't matter, because user base in the US is huge, and that's where it generates revenue. But if you look back, I look back through the before the IPO days in 2018, Q1, Q2, same thing happened. Not just on that, but other social media websites happened as well. So, but for Wall Street, this is a bad sign, because we don't care about the revenue for Pinterest. We care about the monthly active user, because monthly active user ties in with the number of average spend by the per person. And if that drop over a long term, it will drop. Snap, we shouldn't compare apples to apples, but this is how the Wall Street looks. Okay, we need to put ourselves in their mindset. So same thing happened to Snap before in the same 2018. And guess what? They dropped for 3 quarters, almost up till Christmas, and the only time they recover is Q1 in 2019, about a year later. And only when they recovered, they crack the code, they crack the algorithm, they crack the monetization, then they start moving up. And guess what? Snap is a $111 billion company. Way bigger than Twitter, way bigger than Pinterest. In fact, 2 combined is actually worth a single Snap. But what makes it even worse is that line. Last one, we are not providing guidance on Q3 2021 MAU given a lack of visibility and into certain key drivers of engagement. So it shows uncertainty on why they've declined and not sure what's happening and what the real problem is, on how they're going to solve this problem. So they're not telling us anything, they're keeping close to the chest, and that's what makes people very unwary, not being transparent. But hopefully in the next quarter or so, it gives them a turnaround story. But will it turn around next quarter? Average revenue per user, the US one still leads with $5 per single user. International cheapskate doesn't want to pay only 36 cents. Maybe it's a small medium business in other countries outside USA like Europe and Asia are not really picking up yet. Hopefully things will pick up, and if they do pick up, the amount of monetization will grow. But for now, global international is not as important as US, because US is the revenue generator. And if you go to the monthly active users, you can see global 9% growth, international 13% growth, but the one that's dropped, that pulled everything down, is that minus 5% in the US. And that is the one that really concerns the Wall Street, and that is the one that really concerns everybody. Try to put a bit of positive spin on it. I've got this chart from Mr. Miyagi, so credit to him that he showed me this chart. Mr. Miyagi showed me, saying, Alex, don't worry, the future forecast is looking great. That's what the Wall Street see as the long-term prospect. So forward FY 2022 and 2023, the EPS GAAP, in fact, Q3, Q4, Wall Street expects Pinterest to turn it around. This is the year that Pinterest makes money. This is the year that we actually see a proper P ratio from Pinterest, and this is the year. And the year next year is the year where we see another over 100% growth from the positive year for 2022. All right, finish the analysis. Now we want to speak about the ecosystem. Okay, Pinterest is not working alone. Pinterest is a small wheel and a huge machinery here for the e-commerce industry and sector. But before I begin, I want to really correct. I've spoken to Mr. Miyagi on Twitter, and we really need to correct everybody's thinking. Pinterest is not a social media platform. It's not a social media platform where I will see pictures of my mom seeing pictures of me. It's not. Pinterest is a visual discovery platform. It's for businesses and for users, consumers to discover items, agenda via a visual connection. When I released this in August 2020, when I gave a lecture about the whole holistic ecosystem for e-commerce, because e-commerce is not just Amazon or Etsy or eBay or Melicabo or SCA Limited. It's more components, more multi-billion sector company that's all holistic together. So boom, here's the chart right over here that you can see. So e-commerce sits in the middle, where the market, regional market in China, in Southeast Asia, America, EU, Latin America. But for those big boys and girls to market, to make it happen, they need other tools and holistic things around them. Number one, they need the digital marketing. Yes, digital marketing, guess who sits there? Pinterest, the visual discovery platform, with TikTok, with YouTube, with Twitter, with Facebook, with Instagram. So everybody plays a key role. Pinterest supports the likes of Shopify, Pinterest supports the likes of Etsy, Pinterest supports the likes of small, medium businesses. So they help with those sector more than the mega cap companies like Baba or JD. They help the small, medium business, they help the entrepreneur who's starting up. So it helps in that sector. Anybody starting up using Pinterest will help drive the business. So that's what the business is for. And not only that, the way that Pinterest markets, whatever you promote on Pinterest, do not just last for the single day or single week that you promote. If it's up there, you'll be there for a long, long time if you do get a hit. So it's a different type of algorithm that Pinterest is trying to drive visually. Anything useful for people, you'll be there. So folks are concerned, is there a decline? If there's a decline in the key clientele sector, consumers are stopping by, everything else will go down. Not just that, the transaction, the PayPal has reduced, which we've seen as well last week. PayPal has gone down as well, and we can see that the other digital market. So it shows that there's a trend, there's a connection with PayPal, Amazon, and also pins going down. Something is not right here. That is the big problem that we want to see. So the picture is coming out, so we want to see everyone starting to show their showcase and see what happens. Now we don't have a global picture, and we cannot just assume with one single data. That's the big problem. Before we go any further, I really want to give you 4 key points. Is this a concerning growth in the data? But 4 key points just to stick in your head to provoke that thought, okay? As an investor, as a business investor, not a stock picker, as a business investor, we need this forethought. The innovation because the small medium sector is rising? Is it because small medium business is rising and people do not want to work, everyone's working from home, that's actually rising, but data from Amazon is not really giving the real data of declining? Is there something between small medium business against the big corporate business? We need more data. We don't know. We need Adobe to tell us that. Okay? And number two provoking thought is the brick and mortar business coming back? Is it people like me? I'm sick of shopping online. I want to go to the shops. It's like, for example, Tesla. I've seen all the Tesla catalogs online, but the real thing is I want to go to the shops to see the real Tesla car. I want to sit in the real Tesla to feel it. So maybe the mentality has changed and we've been locked in for so long. So that is a second provoking thought. And the third one is the logistical and global slowdown impacting everything. I'm sick and tired of going Amazon telling me that I have to wait 1-2 months to wait for something. I mean, what's the wait? I want it now. I want my graphics card now. It's not coming. So is that impacting the revenue? Or is the inflation needs to go up? Meaning that we need to pay more for that particular stock so it doesn't go out of stock. So people who can afford to pay more for that particular item, then it wouldn't go out of stock. So the stock can stay consistent by raising the price. And the fourth provoking thought is customer data needs evaluating, okay? For example, luxury stock on the rise, maybe folks want to pay more for better quality item that will last longer. Or are young generation millennials and Gen X looking for more greener products, more healthier leather? Maybe there's something they're thinking about that we don't see. We need data. So is this an opportunity to buy Pinterest now? Also Amazon? Or is this a burning ship that we need to stick our hands away from? So let me start with burning ship. Think about it, e-commerce ecosystem will not die, but it needs to evolve. Okay, it needs to evolve to a different place as we stand just now. I mean, I'm not saying that everybody will be prosperous on the dip. I think there'll be some players in this ecosystem market that will die, will lose business, because I think the e-commerce system will be evolving to a stage where we need to understand what customer requires. So again, we're going to see this change. Evolution in different sectors will be happening. For example, okay, let me bring up the chart again. For example, the chart here, the transactional cashless transaction. Who knows? Maybe people want to go into blockchain. Maybe we need to use cryptocurrency to start buying stuff now. We wouldn't know. These are the things that's actually changing behind the scenes itself. How about the digital? Is digital marketing going different now? Is live sales, like in China, people are doing live selling? Maybe that's the way to go, to sell things live on the transition, like me trying to sell stuff on TV. Maybe that's happening. Who knows? Maybe it's all about the cybersecurity transaction. It's all the cybersecurity tracking of the future. People are hacking more. People are losing money. People are losing confidence. We don't know. We need to see. But cyber hacking is a huge problem. Week in, week out for small, medium businesses making losses every single week. And finally, the market. Do we need to move on from the bigger Amazon, SEA, Alibaba? Are we looking for small, medium businesses? Are we trying to support them? Maybe quality of goods is far better that way, because logistical problem is now changing, it's evolving. We can get the same speed delivery as of Amazon, as where we stand here today. So this is it. Thank you very much. I hope the thought-provoking thought will help you decide if it's a buying or is it selling. For me, my final thoughts, I'll be holding pins until I see more data. There's no point trying to jump and sell pins just now, because honestly, if I sell pins at the loss I'm making, 18,000, not really a loss, it's paper loss because I made so much gains, it's 18,000 paper loss. Where will I bring to? Can I find something that's opportunity? I mean, should I be taking this and buying Bitcoins and Ethereum? No, I want to buy a stock which is long term, and I cannot find anything else just now. If I do find, I will share it with you. But for now, I'm holding. I'm going to see how the business evolves, but I am keeping a very, very close eye on it, because this is something that's changing in front of us. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe for more future thought-provoking videos like this. Have a good day.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see future videos, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell button. Ding dong! More videos. Bye!